And recording has started.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
So, y'all remember what happened last time?
I remember everything except for the end of it.
We got some intro text that was about like we're sent to Dika's Bend along with this diplomat guy. I don't remember his name though. Carol?
Greer.
No, Greer. Yeah. So we started in the city, Carol, and we're going to Dika's Bend. On the way there, we met everybody. We met a dude, wasn't it? It was super
Oh,
suspicious.
here we go. Yeah, stop by Morgan at 2 p.m. Unarmed man robbed by bandits. Will pay us 2 gold to escort him to town. The cat played a masterful duet with Morgan along the path. Attacked by 4 bandits in hiding. Party is suspicious of Morgan. He's acting suspiciously. Apotham grappled him, but he seems on the level. Greer is a lazy human jerk. Stood by the cart the whole time with his sword. That's where that's in my notes. Strange dream with a child and a grotesque presence. See you soon. And then we took psychic damage. That's right.
Okay. So, those of you who were sleeping when this happened, who was on watch? I think it was Dorman, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Dorman, when you see before they wake up, when you see their bodies twitching, how do you react?
Dorman goes on guard. He stands up with his wand in hand, and he starts to scan the surrounding area. Unfortunately, I do not have Detect Magic, but I do ready an Eldritch Blast as I look around trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
And you have dark vision, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, roll me perception.
There it is. Perception. My perception is great.
Doesn't matter. Your perception rolled a nat 20.
I need a
so you are scanning the darkness. You know well enough that not to mess too much with this right now. You're trying to figure out first what's going on, and you take a moment to scan the darkness around you. About 15 feet off the road, deeper into the woods, you can see along the ground a glimmer of sort of a purplish blue light. As you see it, you see a glint of it, and then it fades, and it's gone.
Light tracing along the ground?
Yes, like it's. You can see the color, like the purplish blue light, or I'm sorry, you can see purplish blue light splashing across the bottoms of the gnarled trunks of these pine trees before fading. And as you look toward the ground, you can see light tracing along the ground in almost a pattern before disappearing.
Is it a pattern that I recognize?
Not from this distance and angle, no.
I'm not going to leave my companions here unattended, but I will make a mental note of where that was while I wait for the others to wake up. And if people aren't waking up within the next within the next minute, I'm going to go around and start shaking people awake.
About 10 seconds after you notice that purplish blue light, everybody else snaps awake. You come to in a cold sweat and find yourselves staring up at the night sky through the boughs of these pine trees. The chilly air mingles with that feeling of cold sweat on your skin as the remnants of that dream linger in your mind. Just you can still almost smell that scent of decay, and the scent just lingers in your nose for a moment before fading. How do you react when you wake up? Whoa,
Whoa.
oh, hang on.
Gotham, your microphone is going crazy.
Botham,
Yeah.
microphone was going nuts.
Oh, sorry.
Doing it again.
Mm. Everything okay, my dude?
I'm on my cell phone. Is it just making a lot of static?
It is.
Okay.
Be careful. Just careful not to move it around or let anything like blow past it, please. And actually, Apotham, your character's a high elf, isn't he?
Fixed. How about now?
That's much better. Your character's a high elf, isn't he, Apotham?
Yes.
So is Immelrith.
He is.
You don't dream.
No, we meditate, but I did make a point of going to sleep because I got knocked out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, which is weird. Like, what's weird is not necessarily that you slept, because you resting is comes natural to you, but you elves don't dream.
Then I'd imagine I would shoot straight up off of the bedroll on the ground. Yeah, bedroll on the ground. And kind of like prop myself up on both arms and shallow breathing, take a look around. Everybody else is darting up at the same time, I'd imagine.
Yes, Dorman, you see everybody wake up at almost the exact same instant.
Tonight there's strange things in these woods.
Oh God, what was that?
What was what? What did you see?
The flesh wall. It was all rotten. It was gross, and the kid said, "We'll see you soon."
That's
It's a terrible
that's
nightmare.
impossible. How could you have possibly? I had the exact same nightmare.
Bum bum bum. I think we did this last time actually, and then I think we asked the guy if like the guy we were with, Griff. We asked him like if there was anything in these woods that can make dreams. Maybe I'm having a deja vu.
You might be having a deja vu, or that might have actually happened, and we have done a poor job of connecting the two strands here, which is entirely possible.
Okay.
With that in mind, let's just sort of retcon a little bit and keep this new reality here. Morgan has also snapped awake, and he has also. The other thing that you guys all notice upon waking up is that those of you who took psychic damage have developed a nosebleed.
I look at, I see the cat, and the cat's nose is bleeding, so I crawl over to him. And I say, "What's the matter, my furry friend?"
My nose is not bleeding. I made the save.
Oh, fuck, that's right. What's your name?
Oscar.
Lucky you, Oscar.
Yeah, what's that coming out of your nose? Is that a thing elves do?
I'll reach up and kind of tap under my nose and look at my finger in horror. No. We're not more prone to bleed from our noses than any other race. How do I feel? Like, what's my physical, well-being aside from the nosebleed and the startled awake?
You feel like you've been rested for the most part, except for this interruption. There is a small pain in the back of your head that is persistent, and you feel still sort of shaken by the sight that was before you woke up. Apopham. I somehow feel like. How does your character react to these dreams?
He just kind of sits silently, staring off into the distance, contemplating what he's seen.
Okay. Dorman, now everyone is awake, and it seems like they're okay, although shaken. What do you do?
You were standing watch. Did you see anything?
I saw a light in the woods. I'm gonna go and check it out. If you wish to come with me, feel free, but do hurry.
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I've definitely got a drive to figure out what the hell's going on, so I'll
Okay.
jump up and throw some skin over my shoulders and follow him.
So you trudge about 15 feet off the road to the north. Each of you should roll me a survival check. Those of you without dark vision should roll me a survival check with disadvantage.
Well, fuck you, buddy, because I'm an elf.
Yo, I'm a cat.
Nice.
I'm not gonna survive though.
No, me neither.
Dorman, you actually pass it. You find, partially hidden by some fallen leaves, a scorch mark in the shape of what appears to be some kind of sigil or rune, about 3 feet across,
Can I
etched
roll?
in the dirt.
Can I roll Arcana to identify it?
You can try, yes. Fuck me!
Yeah.
Dice like me tonight. I'm afraid for what this means for the future.
Damn it. Okay. What level are you? 2, right?
Yeah.
Solved my sigil puzzle.
You solved my sigil riddle. You've unraveled the entire story in a single crit.
Intelligence of 14, baby.
Okay. You identify a couple of things about this sigil. First off, it is a glyph. It is meant to trigger when someone comes too close. You are not high enough level to identify the spell inscribed in this glyph, but you do know that it was meant to. There are markings in this that describe the trigger as when someone falls asleep within about 100 feet of the sigil.
Can I sketch a copy of this into my journal?
A straight up and down. Well, not straight up and down. Rolling an intelligence check.
Okay.
So it's a sleep bomb?
You're not sure exactly what the spell was that went off,
was
and
that?
you are able to accurately copy the sigil into your notebook.
Okay. So I kind of stalk around it, brushing leaves and other bits of detritus away from it. And I will outline what you just told me to the others. I can't identify what this spell is, but this is a glyph it's an arcane glyph meant to invoke some effect when people sleep near it. I think it's likely the cause for your nightmares.
With that survival check you rolled, 2 sets of footprints approaching the sigil from the road and then back to the road. Old.
From where we were back to the road?
Uh,
So like from where we sat down to camp to here and then back to our camp?
no.
Oh.
They're coming from the same direction as the road, and if you were to follow them back, you'd end up about 50 feet ahead of where you were on the road.
He's definitely going to follow them back. after pointing the footprints out to the others. So 2 sets of footprints, as in 2 people, or 1 set there and back?
2 sets, two people. Sorry.
He'll point this out as well. Just 2 people came from the road. Probably inscribed this. Went back to the road.
That's a frightening Lead the way.
Very. And he will do so. He will follow these footprints back to the road.
Okay.
I'm gonna dawdle behind a little. I'm super inspired by the idea of like a sleep sigil trap, and like I'm like penning my next hit single.
Yeah. So you follow them back to the road. Once they hit the road, the beaten path is so well traveled that the footprints they do not appear recent. Hi, Phantom.
Hello.
Hello.
Yo.
Yo,
Footprints to the road, and then what? They disappear from the road? I'm sorry, say it again.
When they get back to the road itself is too well traveled to. It appears they must have been walked over at some point.
Fuck, I don't really have anything either. I guess the path ends here, friends.
I have no way to follow these tracks beyond this. Likely is that they simply took the road one way or the other. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say they are traveling the same direction we are, else we would have met them on the road.
I suppose it might be prudent to go gather up the rogue and head on the way. What time is it?
Likewise.
It is roughly 2:00 in the morning, going by the position of the moon.
Then I rescind my previous statement, and I say maybe we should just go back and hunker down for the rest of the night with double watches.
That sounds good. I could use a nap.
Then when we get back to camp, I will take up watch for Dormond, and I will request that the cat join me.
Okay.
sure. Yeah, no problem, man.
I got at least 4 hours of meditation, right?
Yes.
Well, then I don't need to rest for the rest of the night, and I join the watch.
Okay. Welcome to the watch. Your short sword and bronze breastplate is in the mail. Anyway. So yeah, there's now 3 people standing watch. There is the cat, Ilrith, and Apotham. After a little bit, Greer kind of stumbles out of the cart where he's been sleeping and approaches the campfire and says, "That was," and you see that his nose has been bleeding too. He looks at the party and says, "Room for one more?"
I scoff audibly.
I look over, I pat the open space on the log next to me, and I motion for him to come out of my water skin and say, "Here you go, drink this."
Greer sits down and takes a sip of the provided water and says, "Thank you." Oh, I just had an awful nightmare.
Greer, what do you know about these woods?
These what?
Seems like there's something fishy going on. You ever heard anything like this?
What do you mean?
Well, you just had a dream, right? We all had the same dream.
What do you mean we had the same dream? What did you see?
Oh, I explained to him what I saw about the fleshy wall and the girl saying "see you soon."
What?
Yeah. We just had this revelation a couple minutes ago. There was a trap. It was like a sigil, I guess, and when we all fell asleep, we set it off. Super cool.
A trap. So there was a trap. And some sort of spell? Is that what you're telling me?
That's what he said, yeah. I like point to Darman.
Doramin is laying down next to a tree, still wearing full cloak and mask, so you just have this owl's face staring at you.
You trust him, do you? The owl masked one?
He served me better than you have so far. And I just kind of turn away.
'Tis not my duty to serve you, 'tis your duty to protect me.
I just like to know that in a real pinch, we all have each other's backs.
I'll do for myself if it comes to that, but it shouldn't come to that. That's what you're hired for, Imorith.
I was hired for my specific abilities. Nowhere in the contract did it say I'd have to protect some lazy human.
Lazy. I'm going to save Kirill. What have you done?
You're going to open the channels to hold on one second.
You're fine.
To Deakus. That's going to save Krill. You're naught but a footnote in history.
Huh. Impudent. Perhaps correct, but impudent nonetheless.
Imbecile.
I see you weren't hired for your charm. 'Tis a good thing that I'm doing the diplomacy, isn't it?
I suppose
Elf.
that's what you were hired for.
Yes, it is what I was hired for, not for my swordplay. So I'll thank you to ensure I don't have to employ it.
I love how you laughed like in character. Your voice like hadn't gone back to Ches yet. I'm glad we had that on recording.
I'd rather listen to the cat than this jabbering idiot.
Greer grumbles to himself something under his breath and then says, "Well, has the trap been disabled?"
Yeah, I think I don't know, Dorman.
I think we just sort of triggered the trap. We didn't disable it.
Yeah, I don't think it just seemed like it was a one-off thing or something.
Yeah.
It's a good question, though.
I tried to disable the trap since I am the rogue. How do I do that?
Yeah, it's totally a magic trap.
It's a magic trap. You maybe you go back over to the sigil where it's been inscribed into the ground and you futz with it a bit, but it doesn't react at all. All you seem to do is sort of scratch up the dirt where it was inscribed.
I walk over to the rogue while he's like poking the dirt and the leaves with his picks and his tools, and I just kind of look down and shake my head.
Gotta do
And
something.
I was gonna say, out of ego, I'd like to try and disarm the trap. You said we can't disarm it.
Roll
But
an
you know
Arcana.
what?
Roll an Arcana check. You are aware that the trap has discharged its power. The sigil has been robbed of all magical energy and no longer functions. So you should be safe to go back to sleep.
While the two of them are over at the trap and I have no idea what they're talking about, I'm gonna funnily cast sleep at them to try to see if they trigger the trap.
Oh my god, please.
You're going to cast sleep?
Succeed.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think elves can technically be put to sleep. Actually,
Oh, fuck, I can't. Damn it.
Okay, I mean,
But-
we
but-
could just say that's how it goes. That's fine.
okay. I want you to
But-
roll a sleight of hand check, Oscar.
Okay.
My
This
mental-
involves this.
It is VSM, yeah. So it's all.
Okay, I want perception checks from Apotham and Immelrith.
Fuck.
Wow. So you have no idea what has just happened here. Just that while you were staring at this trap, sleep threatened to steal over you once again. To pass out there at the sigil.
And I'm like,
Uh,
damn.
Wait, is he casting sleep?
At us, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're both elves too, so yeah. It's, well, like my character, that's totally what
yeah.
Uh,
If they're an elf, then they can't be affected by sleep. But if they're it's not a save.
No,
It's okay.
there's
Yeah.
no save against it. I had them roll perception to see if they knew where it
they're
came
just
from.
immune, so.
I gotcha.
Totally okay, yeah. So as soon as I feel this strange urge, my eyes kind of widen, and I try and lock eyes with Apotham. Being a high elf, he surely felt it too.
I look at him and nod.
I'm gonna turn to Greer and I'm gonna be like, "Well, I don't see anything to worry about anymore."
Good. I'll go back to sleep. And Greer stumbles off to Baron doesn't stumble. He walks back over to the cart, climbs inside, and returns to sleep. Morgan, who has been sitting quietly at the fire, says, "This is a bad place to be. I told him we shouldn't have gone in these woods. This is a bad place to be in the dark, gentlemen."
Did he? Did he tell us that?
He did.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yep.
He
If
totally
he didn't, we're retconning that he did because I'm running this game in two separate instances, and I got that mixed. I may have gotten that mixed up.
I search for additional traps in the area.
Roll me a perception check, please.
Yeah.
There are no additional traps in the area.
Oh,
You do notice at the base of a tree about 20 feet to the south of the road, at the base of the tree, of a pine tree, there are several little flowers that raise up about a foot up the trunk of the tree, and whose petals, which are very broad and about 4 in number per bud, glow blue.
I investigate.
How do you investigate? Like, what are you
I-
hoping to discover?
I get closer and try to see if I can identify if it's something worth money.
Sure. Roll me an investigation check. See how this plays out.
Ugh.
You lean in. You notice that the center of the flower, which I don't know the scientific names for these plant parts, so I apologize. The center of the flower is a sort of a yellowish gold color. It is very small compared to the petals. The petals dominate most of the bud. The petals themselves, you reach out and maybe pick a petal off of the flower to see if it retains its glow. It does not. The moment it leaves the flower, or the petal leaves the flower, it loses its glow and just looks like a standard blue flower petal. A further step in investigation, you pick one of the flowers. There's about 4 at the base of the tree. You pick one, and again, the light leaves it the moment it leaves the earth.
I try to find one of the casters and get them to, or someone with knowledge of nature, to come over and look at this if they're awake.
Okay. Dorman is the only one really sleeping. Morgan is sitting by the fire. Immelrith and Immelrith, have you come back from the room, Sigil?
Yeah, I ran up and relayed all that information to the cat, and unfortunately, Morgan probably overheard. Not Morgan. Greer went back to bed. Yeah, the cat and Morgan.
Cat and Morgan?
I'll be right back.
Feels good.
Okay.
Or, well, actually, never mind.
That joke was so bad he had to be right back.
I'm not sorry. Like, not even a little bit.
Anyway, sorry. There's soldering iron sitting in the garage, and I need to grab it. But actually, let me go grab it right now. 1 sec.
Okay.
All right, good. Well, he's off. All right, Apotham wandered off from the sigil to the flower. What color were the flowers? And they were at the base
Blue.
of the tree? That's what I got, okay. Glowing, he picked one, and then the light fades.
The light fades, yes. It's a good thing we're not doing this for a podcast, because I got a lot of work to do.
No, really, if I had been paying attention, I would have caught all that.
No. I'm just catching myself doing lots of ums and uhs and stumbling a little bit.
Dude, go back and listen to Critical Role. Matt Mercer ums and uhs like just as much as you do.
All the fucking time. And plus the when you do podcasts and stuff like this, generally you go through and do some editing. Like this conversation would be cut out.
I wouldn't cut
Oh,
out.
look.
I wouldn't cut out a moment of.
Well, that's you. Also, welcome back. Did you forget the pain?
Huh?
Well, you said you had to go grab a soldering iron. You know, I assumed you left after that bad joke to forget the pain.
I guess I did. I did the best I could. I did so well, I forgot what you were talking about. So apparently, I was successful.
There you go.
So yeah, what else do you want to know about these flowers?
Are they magical?
He shoves it in my hand, and I do it, once over. What do I feel from the flower?
You don't feel anything, but you are familiar enough with Arcana, I think, that I would just tell you that flowers don't typically glow like that.
Okay, so after he, shoves the flower in my hand and relays the story to me, I assume he could lead me right over to the tree. And we look down, and here is a beautiful row of glowing blue flowers. Can I investigate that any further? How to say? I would drop down on one knee. I'd go prostrate near and shove my face in the flowers.
Okay. These flowers are still in the ground, right?
Yes.
They are.
And you just shoved your face in them.
Willingly.
Okay. Roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, I saw it coming.
You die.
Okay, so you're going to take half damage here. You take 2 psychic damage.
I'm up to 3.
There is a rush of sound past your ears, and your vision goes white for a second as the buds and petals of these flowers touch your temples as you shove your face down towards them, attempting to get a closer look at the glowing petals. There is a giggle that, you know how when someone's very close to you and they talk and you can kind of feel their breath on your skin?
Mm-hmm.
There is that staccato that those 3 quick breaths that come out in a giggle, pressing along the back of your neck.
Oh, I don't
and
like that. I don't like that at all.
you were reminded of the sound that you were reminded of the voice of that child in your dream. I mean, you pull your face back from the flowers, your nose is bleeding again.
So when I pull my face back from the flowers, I'm kind of in shock, and I reel backwards and actually end up on, propping myself up with my hands and scooting backwards probably 10 feet from them. And I look like I'm in the same state that I was when I woke up from the dream. Super shallow breaths, pale and sweating, and eyes wide and well out of focus. And I have to shake it clear for a second and look up at Apotham before I reestablish that I'm, concrete in the real world. And I explained to him, and I assume you said my nose is bleeding. Yeah, so my nose is visibly bleeding to him right now. And I say, it happened again.
Well, I think this warrants some kind of additional investigation, and I start trying to figure out how to.
I feel like this is going to be one of those situations where a player falls in a fire trap and everyone else has to go see the fire trap too, just to make sure it's there.
I try to like scoop up the dirt or some kind of no. I want to like try to preserve the flower and take it with me. Try to like cultivate it. Seems like it could be useful.
I slap his hand away. And I
What?
say, friend, did you not see that? Leave well enough alone.
Yeah, but these are usually the best things to poison people with. I mean, you know.
I say, I'm educated in these matters. And even I'm scared of this. Drop
I-
it and leave it be.
I look.
What was the name of your wizard school?
It was, Galvagles? Gamagles? Gamagles, I think.
Gamigal. Gamagals. What was
Gamagles
it?
Finishing School for Fine Wizards.
God, I love that. All right.
What did the flower smell like, Brian? Or him or us?
Absolute fear.
I don't know. I think you should smell it, Oscar.
Smelled like fear. That doesn't sound like a good smell.
Fear. It smells like a fresh meadow breeze. You should.
Sarcastically, I take one thumb and I wipe the blood out from under my nose and I say, no, not pleasant at all.
Got it.
And I'm scared at this point. So, like,
Sweet.
without
I-
even interacting with Apotham, like, I leave his dumbass at the flowers. If he's gonna fucking pick them, if he wants to wipe his ass with them, he can feel free. But I storm back off to camp and I start assembling my things.
Okay.
I guess there's no way for me to pick these flowers and use them later. So
Roll me a nature check.
untrained. Here we go. Hey,
What the fuck are these dice rolls?
it's called magic.
Listen, the dice
It's-
giveth, the dice taketh away. And pretty soon the dice are gonna take away all our fucking lives.
It's everything we've got in reserve left over from Doomfinder.
Yep.
Yeah. You pretty much suss out after a little bit of investigation that you can't get these up out of the dirt without killing them. The roots go a bit too deep. But you do try. And there is something unsettling. One last unsettling detail about these flowers. You pick two at the same time, having dug down and found what you thought perhaps to be the root of the root, the very bottom of their roots reaching into the earth. You pull them up. And I want to clarify that dark vision for elves, and for most things really, lets you see in shades of gray. You can't identify individual colors. So once you've pulled these flowers totally up out of the earth, roots and all,
Oh God.
the warm liquid that hits your legs initially does not register as anything. It registers as strange, but you can't identify it until you smell something very coppery.
God, did I just kill
damn.
like a mandrake baby or something?
And staining the thighs and of your outfit is the distinct scent of blood.
What? I look over at Arrowith and
Immelrith.
Emilrith
Who?
and
No, is not. Look, buddy. No, he ain't over there no more. He stormed off the camp. I'm sorry.
I'm
You're.
like, guys, I think I found a dead body.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Really quick on an aside. Is that true about Else? I always interpreted that as like in dark Else see in Shades of Grey. But normally they would have. I mean, they're naturally artsy people, right? They would have an ability to perceive color and things of that nature.
If you're actively using dark vision, then you see in shades of gray. If you're using just normal vision, then yeah, you can see color.
So yeah, in the day he would totally be able to perceive color, right?
Yes. Oh God, yes. No, they're not colorblind. Only in the dark do you see in shades of gray.
But it's morning at this point, so it's not dark, right?
No, it's
It's-
dark. It's 2 a.m.
I thought we finished. Everybody went and finished their rest, and then Greer got up and joined us by the camp. I'm so sorry.
No. Greer got up after you guys had all woken up. He just got up later.
No.
So it's 2 in the morning, and I'm digging up flowers. Am I understanding this correctly?
And you're covered in blood.
And I'm apparently covered in blood now. Okay.
So a normal Thursday night.
Yeah, pretty much. So does this thing that I've uncovered start screaming or something, or like?
No,
Okay.
there's no sound. There's just blood.
Just blood. So
That's
I
a
take,
great line, I think. There's no sound, just blood.
That is a good line.
I take what I found and I bring it closer to the fire to get a closer look.
What everyone else sees when Apotham approaches the fire is a man stained along his waist with a fair amount of blood. It is not copious, but it is. There is enough to have made quite the mess on his clothes. Gripping gripping some flowers whose bottom roots, it must be noted, are twitching.
Rogue, I told you to leave well enough alone.
Well, I found something. Wait, sorry. I'm supposed to say it in a more cold voice. I think I found something. It seemed suspicious, so I started digging. It seemed like it might be useful, but now I'm beginning to think I just killed something.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna throw this away now. I'm not sure what to do. Done.
While it's draped in campfire light, can I make a cursory glance and a nature check or something to try and identify the type of plant it is?
Sure. Roll me a nature check.
Since I'm also in the
Nope.
light now, can I take another look and see if I can identify what it is?
Sure. Roll me a nature check.
I try to
That-
assist Brian.
You try to assist Brian?
Or Brian, I guess, tries to assist me.
I'll say that Immelrith tries to assist you. That way, you get advantage on that nature check. That is a 19. That will do it. Give me just a sec.
That'll do it.
Yeah, I did the thing.
The thing.
That is a delphinium flower. It is a sort of is a naturally blue flower. It grows in summer primarily, which is very odd because this is winter, or the beginning edge of winter. And it usually does not grow in climates like this. It usually requires a lot of sunlight. The pine trees typically prevent it from getting that. So the main thing that you notice is that they should not have been growing there at all.
So did I just kill like a one of a kind species of life, basically?
Welcome to colonialism 101. No,
God,
did
no.
you? I couldn't tell you.
You sounded a little bitter about that, Ches.
I have no idea what you're talking about, and do not have the spoons to discuss this at the moment.
Anyway, having successfully identified the flower, I noticed the glint of recognition in Apotham's eyes, and I would like to attempt to slap it out of his hand with a campfire.
That's what goes into. That's what goes into a good RPG podcast. Racial tension. Okay.
Hey! Let's keep things light and fluffy like a blanket around here.
Oh my god. Okay, we're done.
That's
We have to put this on YouTube for posterity's sake. We're done.
Yeah, we gotta kick it.
Moving
Can
on.
I slap the flower?
Yes, you slap the flower out of Apotham's hand because he's. Well, actually, Apotham, do you want to let that happen? Do you want to try and keep it? What do you want to do?
I'm just staring blankly at it, feeling like I just killed something bad. Like I just ruined something's very unique life, and I had I feel like a little disappointed in myself for being so wasteful.
As an elf, even. You slap the flower out of Apotham's hand, and it lands in the campfire and burns.
You've got a penchant for trouble, friend, haven't you?
Yeah, and
Enough's enough. Pack your things and let's move on. Goddamn. Enough's enough. Pack your things and let's move on.
okay, fine. I pack up my stuff and prepare for the day.
Okay. You guys are kind of keeping watch. Do you want to go ahead and try and go, wake Norman up and go, or do you want to wait for the long rest to be over?
Wait for the long rest to be over.
I'm an elf. I'm entitled. I already had my long rest.
Morgan, who has been thoroughly, apparently unnerved by the proceedings, offers some minor pleasantries and eventually falls asleep. He goes off to his bedroll a little bit further away from the fire and goes back to sleep. You guys keep watch until the morning. Morning does eventually creep over the horizon. Sunlight eventually peeks through the canopy of pine trees, and they are dense enough to make that a questionable prospect. They do go very closely together, except for along this road and then a little clearing you have found to camp in. Once you're all awake, Greer kind of climbs out of the cart and onto the front of the cart, where he kind of gripples. Listen to me. Oh my God. Grips the reins and says, "Are we ready to go?"
I hop in. Yep.
CMT versus Gripple.
I wave a possum down off the cart. I believe we were walking, friend.
Not all of us.
Dorman, what are you doing? You didn't dream, by the way.
Lucky me.
Or at least you didn't dream of what everyone else dreamed about. You might have dreamed of a pale fey creature with some features similar to an owl, but you didn't dream of the other thing.
Oh, I know what Dorman dreamed.
So when you wake up, what do you like? What do you do?
Sit up. I move off the road, not terribly far, but enough to hide behind the bushes for a morning quick scrub of the face, away from prying eyes. Wearing a mask all the time becomes sweaty. Once I've taken care of that, I gather my belongings, pack them up, and probably toss my backpack onto the cart and settle. Well, I wait for the others, peering around, keeping an eye out for things, as best as I can, at least.
Okay. All right. So, with everyone kind of prepared and ready to go, you all set off for the remainder of your trip to Deacon's Bend. The day is much sunnier than the previous day. Clouds have almost entirely disappeared from the sky, and where the canopy of pine trees parts or directly over the road, you can see slices of clear blue color between the boughs. Roll me perception checks, everybody. Oh, sorry,
We're
it occurs to me suddenly. Phantom, I'm sorry, I didn't give you a character sheet. Just a tick. There we go. Phantom, if you want to fill in what you've got for your character, we'll go from there. If you're still here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I have my character on D&D Beyond.
That's fine. You can hold on to him there, and we'll fill in your Roll20 sheet as this progresses. Sound good?
Sure.
Okay. Emelrith, you notice that there's very little sound in the forest right now. There's not. Typically, there's sounds of animals, birds, insects, but there's nothing. It's quiet as the grave.
I quietly whisper to the rest of the party, this is unsettling, friends. It's mid-morning. Have you ever known a blue jay not to sing mid-morning?
No.
There's too many things in the woods.
Owls are long asleep by now, friend. But your avian brethren, them I miss.
Often they are quieted by a passing of people. Perhaps that is all, but you can tell that he doesn't really think that
Sorry,
that's what it is.
Part of that dropped, Matt. Could you say that again?
Often they are quieted by the passing of people, but perhaps not this day.
In the quiet, I would like to scan my surroundings. I'd like to make sure there's no presence around us, no rustling leaves off in the distance.
There is nothing that you can see.
God damn, this is very discomforting, everybody.
Um, you continue onward. Uh, it takes you the better part of the day, but despite the discomforting quiet, there is no attack. There's no sudden movement. The forest is very, very still. The first sign of your emergence from the forest and into the town of Deepest Bend is that you can spy buildings through the trees further up the road. The second is that eventually the trees give way to a broad set of fields to the south of the road on the eastern end of town. Those of you who have proficiency in nature, if any of you, please roll me a nature check.
Got nothing.
Anybody?
I'm an elf without nature.
Okay. Elves,
Roll
actually, both elves, Apotham and Immelrith, roll me a nature check.
That's racist.
A little bit, right?
Uh,
Look at the dichotomy of elves.
Yeah.
Feast and fucking famine. Apotham, you are inspecting these orchards and fields as you pass by them. There are fruits and grains and vegetables growing in the fields to abundance. Plants are producing far more fruit than they typically do. The stalks and branches weighed down heavily, bent with the bulk of produce that has appeared at the ends of them. You notice a couple of things. There are fruits and vegetables growing next to each other that are A, not in season, and B, should be cannibalizing one another. There are things growing in the field that have no business growing in the beginning of winter. Grains and corn and tomatoes and peppers. This seems strange to somebody who may have some background with natural foods, organic foods of any kind. This is very strange. Continuing on toward the bulk of the town, which now rests in a clearing ahead of you, you can also see in fields to the north of the road, fields where cattle graze, and there's a lot of them. There is quite a lot of them, and they are all incredibly well fed, and they all look very healthy. And we'll go ahead and move you to the town. So, for those of you who have not played on Roll20 with me before, hang on.
I will close my sheet to give.
We're
the,
well,
this- God,
we're
Well,
well
just a tick.
removed from Kirill now, gentlemen.
Just a tick. I forgot to take the grid off. There. And the background. Sloppy, Chez. Sloppy.
I keep thinking, did you make this map?
What?
Did you make this map?
I made a map similar to it, but I used a similar tool to slap this together.
If
This
is
was-
slapped together, man, this is really good.
Well, no, the image itself, I took the image, which was like this image of forests and stuff like that, and then I used Incarnate to put the houses and whatnot on there.
Still good.
I'm sorry, really quick. Everybody see something? Because all I see is our group token on a white background. I don't have any image.
Yep, refresh.
Fuck. I want you to know I've been staring at this for like 30 to 45 minutes now.
No, you just
Son
got
of
it on
a
the
bitch.
screen. You were looking at the messed up GIF of the fire.
Okay. Yeah,
Was the fire GIF messed up? I'm sorry.
No, I mean it worked. It was just I had to do that too. I had
Hello?
to refresh because it seems like it's I don't know a big file to transfer or something.
It looks like my desktop just dropped. Can Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Cool, it works. Yeah, I can hear you.
So my desktop is having connectivity issues, it looks like. I think something's wrong with my motherboard.
Give me just will you guys give me about 5 minutes? I'll be right back.
Sure.
Yeah, no
I know,
worries.
I know,
Cool.
I know it's getting close. We got to stop here in a little bit, but I need to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Real quick, I'm off tomorrow, so if that's the only inhibitor here, we're all good.
Oh shit! Okay, no, we can keep playing. That takes a huge amount of stress off to me.
I have work tomorrow, but since I work remote, I don't have to commute or anything, so I'm good till like 1 in the morning.
Yeah. I'm good.
I'd like to play till about 10 o'clock my time. Are you two okay with that, Matt and Phantom?
I'm cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Phantom.
yeah, I'm totally cool with that. I'm generally awake until 6 a.m. So yeah.
Got to party till 6 in the morning. All right, I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Also,
Uh,
BRB.
So while he's
Here we-
gone, who am I sending the video file to after this?
The other guy's name is Big J 1066. He was the paladin last time we played.
Cool. I need to send him a quick editing note.
He has all of their previous games. The main game they play on Saturday, Fat Thumb's Adventure. That's all up on his channel.
Big J 1066.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna send him a quick message.
BRB, gents.
Yep. See, I don't need to make a character sheet on Roll20 because I have a character sheet on D&D Beyond, and that's where I'm rolling from.
I'll be right back.
And then there was one. You backed.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Also, need to make a character sheet on. I have one on D&D Beyond.
You have a character sheet on here too, right?
I just have one on D&D Beyond. Here, let me roll a crossbow attack. Yeah, there you go.
Alikov.
That's my character.
How are you rolling crossbow attacks if you haven't filled out your character sheet?
Because I have a character sheet on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, but how are you rolling that here? Right? Like, what are you clicking?
Here you go. Let me just send a link into Roll Dice. Yeah, there you go. This is a thing you can add to Chrome or Firefox, or I don't know if it has other support, but I know it has Chrome and Firefox. And yeah, it's just it converts D&D Beyond character sheet stuff as well as stuff from monsters statistics and rolls it in whatever Roll20 browser thing you have open. Set it to specific tabs or whatever else you want, and bam, done.
Okay.
One of my guildmates sent it a couple
Well, you
of
said
weeks ago.
so I can put it through the circular token stand.
Yeah.
Finally reconnected. What's up, everybody? I'm back.
What's up,
Welcome
Chuckle
back.
Fuck? Got a permit to ride the city. You should see it sometime. What? Anyway.
Man, spitting some rhymes.
Was that a Beastie Boys song or something? That's what it sounded like.
That was Akewood. Is Brian here? Or did he step away for a second? He stepped away
Yeah.
for a second.
Whoever else just got back, if you have D&D Beyond and you want to use it instead of just making new character sheets in different campaigns and Roll20 all the time, I put up a link that links the two together.
Cool.
It's interesting because I have a different plugin thing that does a very similar thing where you go to your character sheet on D&D Beyond and you change the URL to like .json and it gives you a JSON string and you just paste that into Roll20 and that like fills the character sheet.
That's, I guess, a way to do it. This way,
Yeah,
I can just literally go on I'm on my character sheet right now on D&D Beyond, and I just click on dagger, and then there's the little icon where it says roll beyond 20, and I click that, and bam, there it does.
Fancy.
Where I'm living, it's hard to say. Wasting my time. A corner dude and catastrophe.
Welcome back, Brian.
It's hard to say, but I feel fine at the corner of dude and catastrophe.
What is that? Sounds so familiar.
Yes, you're damn right it does. Just shh.
All right, Mr. Malakov, you are properly tokened up.
Cool.
Alex, if you will go to your chat window
Uh-huh.
and go down and select a pop from the ad, there you go.
Oh, he's edgelord.
Look here. Look at this.
Look at me being Mr.
Everyone's
Edgelord.
tokens are at the bottom of the screen. It's great.
Got that shit
I-
minimized.
I
And
don't
then,
see a map.
And then Matt's just an owl.
Yeah, I'm a kitten, so
Oh yeah, you're right. You're a kitten with a flute.
and also bongos.
I can't see the bongos.
What's
I
that?
can
You
only
want
see the
something?
flute.
It's just in my inventory.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, I can't see your inventory. I do not have access to such wonders.
Where I'm living, it's hard. Okay, it's stuck in my head now.
All right, let's see how well this works with, because it says it works with this other thing too.
So, is everyone here?
Yes.
Yes.
Matt?
Yes. Sorry, I was muted. That is
You're
a
fine.
lot of what the fuck.
Hey, it does work.
That is a lot of D6.
Check that out. Works
Oh,
with
you're-
monsters.
Cool. All right. You have stepped into you've exited the road, and I apologize that this map is not fully accurate to what I described. With the cattle fields to the north, the farm fields to the south, and all that, but did what I could with a limited amount of time. So bear with. That being said, you have
Wait a second, Bear, are you with him?
I'm with him.
Okay, cool.
That was a joke a long time ago.
all is well. And let it be. You have arrived at Deacon's Bend. The cart pulls up at the entrance to this this town, and it is actually evening time. By the time you guys roll in, the sun has started to set. Sunset has started to crawl across the sky, and you stand in a square in which there are not a lot of people. Everyone, including the workers you saw in the field, the people kind of meandering through the city square or the town square, everyone is wearing hempen, like sackcloth clothes, like a very simple sleeveless shirt tied at the waist with some rope, and simple sackcloth trousers over leather boots. Almost everyone is wearing the exact same outfit. As you kind of approach the town square, a couple of guards who are identified by the fact that they are the only people wielding weapons, in which case these are halberds. The guards approach you. Two guards approach you. One is a taller man with he's wearing like a gray, like back what appears to be some light brown hair. He's got a very square jaw, and he stands next to another guard who is very who's kind of short-ish. Hang on. Kind of a shorter guard that doesn't really meet your eyes. It's a shorter woman, maybe a dwarf. Hang on.
Oh, he's handsome.
Woman is darker skinned and has thick black hair tied back. Looking at you, she's kind of looking at the ground. The man approaches you and says, "What's this then? What can I help you with? Who are you? What are you doing here?"
Shit, what was the town we just came from?
Kirill.
Dorman will step forward in all his feathered glory. We are an emissary from the town of Kirill.
Kirill, was it? Yes, I've heard of you. Yeah, hang on, I got his voice right. Kirill, was it? Yes, I've heard of you. Going through a blight, aren't you?
Something of the sort. I was passing through and was asked to act as a guard for this small caravan of one.
Yes, you were expected. Do you have... I'm supposed to... Is that you?
No.
Greer appears, perks up from the cart and says, "No, that's me. Yes, with a lot from Kirill, as my friend here so kindly introduced us. We're here to see Decius, I believe is his name. Let me go get him. If I could ask you to wait at the tavern, he'll meet you there. I'll thank you not to wander around the town until you've been vetted."
As you wish.
Come along, Cassandra. The dwarf grunts non-committally and follows the man off. You see them kind of head across the square. Actually, I'll show you which direction they head. Just a tick. You see them head across the square and toward the south. Damn it! Here we go. Toward the south, where they disappear around the corner of some houses and down a path. The square has some market stalls and things like that. There is a well, a very large well right about here that I could not get onto the map. So,
There?
yep, right there. Directly across the square, you can see a sign hanging off a door that declares the Verdant Corner Tavern. And that appears to be where you're supposed to go.
Are there any cucumbers for sale?
Are there any cucumbers for sale?
Quick check.
You know what? Yes, actually. What do you do? You approach one of the stalls to see if you can buy some?
No. As soon as I see the cucumbers, I am terrified.
Oh, you fucker.
Yeah, I want to steer as clear away from the cucumbers as possible.
You see, in my head, the bard just kind of wanders over to one of the fruit stands and just like turns slightly, sees the corner of his eyes, jumps 10 feet in the air and lands on all fours with his tail sticking up.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay,
I'm sorry, show me that tavern one more time.
right here.
Alright, so on the way to the tavern as we cut across the town square, I'd actually like to flip a gold inside the wishing well.
All right. You do so. Roll me a wisdom save.
A fucking what? I'm sorry, I was typing in my gold.
Got you covered. You don't have to write it.
I was hoping.
A fucking what, mate?
You hear a whispered, "Thank you," in a familiar voice.
I'm sorry,
And
you're gonna
you
have to
take
be more specific.
1 psychic damage.
The god damn it! The same voice as the young child in the dream?
Yep.
Is my nose bleeding?
No.
Hold on, let me put this 1 psychic damage.
As a matter of fact, you're not entirely certain you heard that.
I'm up to 4 psychic damage, DM.
You're up to 4 psychic damage?
I am. Hey, fuck you, buddy.
Hey, fuck me, buddy. All right. So you guys are approaching the tavern. Is that right?
Yeah. Taking the widest path around the cucumbers possible.
Okay. Keeping a very careful proximity away from the cucumbers. You approach the Verdant Corner Tavern. This is a relatively large tavern. It's a building along with another building sort of attached to it that serves as a combination tavern and inn. There is there are not many people inside at this time of the evening. It looks like maybe this isn't the most popular establishment in town, but it's a warm atmosphere. Certainly warmer than the glances and kind of quiet mumbled hellos you might have received on your way here from people that passed by you. No background.
What?
Yes.
Reload.
No,
Reload.
What?
No background? Reload.
looks like Alex. Yeah, he just reloaded.
There we go. Ah, okay, this makes more sense now.
Ah,
Oh, Duelist 2. Yo, roll 20 broken.
Yeah. So you.
We barge in. All right, this group of how many? 6 of us. Us 5 and Greer. No. Excuse me, 5 of us. Us 4. Greer. Where's Morgan?
Morgan has tailed along. He heads into the tavern with you, and says, "Well, lads, before you guys can really get to the bar, he kind of gets in front of the party and says, 'Well, lads, you got me here. Here you go,' and you each receive 2 gold."
I have money. Yay.
okay.
Fun fact, this is the only money my character has right now.
2 gold.
Yeah. I chose the
Um,
haunted one background, and that does not give you gold to start with.
Well, we should have all got 50, right? When the quest started.
I did also jot that down. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we weren't getting paid till afterwards.
We got half before and half after.
Oh, okay.
The 2 is from this guy, this pirate dude that we were real suspicious of. He knows the sea shanty for some reason. I don't trust his ass. But I will take his money.
Okay. Does everybody here have Groovy Bot relatively kind of quiet?
Yes.
I don't hear Groovy Bot at all.
Prepare to be
Well,
groovy
you-
bastard.
Okay. But yeah, it's
Prepare your face holes for
Prepare your
invasion
groovy
of
butt.
sound.
Yes.
fucking what?
I'm making peanut butter in my mouth.
That's great, pal.
What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean?
I'm sorry.
I'm
I'm sorry.
intrigued.
I think I need to repeat myself. Fucking what?
I'm intrigued. Like, do you just keep chewing the peanuts? I never chewed them that long.
Yeah, exactly.
What does that mean? Why are you just shut the fuck up? I hate you. Ugh.
Groovy Bot is server deafened.
Yeah.
I hear Witcher music again.
Yes, Witcher music makes for really good
Why
music.
is the Groovy Bot server deafened and not?
I don't know. He's janky. He works hard for the money.
Like, deafened makes it to where the bot couldn't hear you, but why would the? That's extremely paranoid. That's a paranoia on a different level.
So yeah, welcome to the Verdant Corner Tavern. This is a warm, welcoming little environment. There's a fireplace in one corner. The fire is not going right now, but the sunlight is kind of the evening sunlight is kind of pouring through the windows and giving the whole place this reddish gold glow that's very pleasant, along with the wooden floor, wooden walls, and lacquered chairs and tables. Standing behind the counter is a halfling woman. If y'all want to... Does anyone remember the shortcut to show everybody a token?
Shift Z, I think. To select it, Shift Z.
I see her. Hey, Shawty. I'm a 6-foot elf. We can do interesting things.
Did you call the halfling woman shorty?
I did.
Of course you would.
That's racist.
And sexist. It's a double negative, so it's okay.
That's really not how that
Is
works.
that how it works?
Fuck me! God, this is gonna get me canceled somewhere.
Probably China.
Oh wait, it's pretty easy
Okay.
to get canceled there. I mean, is anyone in the party gay?
Did anyone here make a video game named Devotion?
Thankfully, no.
I don't get that joke.
I don't either.
That is a long story. I will explain later.
Good.
The halfling woman, she appears to be moving back and forth behind the counter without actually walking. And she sort of glides over to one end of the counter. She sees you coming and says, "Oh, hello. Welcome to Deacon's Bend. Welcome to the Verdant Corner. What can I get you?"
I'll have a pint of milk. Wow.
The cat.
The owl is staring at the cat as if, like, he didn't expect this, but he feels as though he should have expected this.
Wait, what's the cat doing?
I want a pint of milk.
Pint of milk for the tabaxi. All right, I can do that. What else for you? I'm sorry. I'm a little excited to see visitors. It's been a while. Not since those paladins.
I look around. Do I see any other patrons?
You do. You see, and Phantom, describe your character.
1 second.
I just imagine a fantasy bar. He orders milk, and it's like they're like, "Would you like a saucer with that?" You know, like how they ask if you want a cup with the beer.
Let me butcher this real quick. Mianxing Shangka. Alright, now we're canceled in China. I just said free Hong Kong in Chinese. Alright, now.
Oh shit, we're canceled, but we're canceled by Blizzard too.
Oh, yeah, I
No.
canceled my Blizzard.
Ooh.
Oh no.
No, it's
Whatever.
months or something. And have our
Yanqing
ward.
Hong Kong. So yeah, we're good. We're good now. Character is a wearing very dark, like just almost pure black, but a deep brown set of clothing, a hood over their head, and a interesting. See in the image. That has a little like faded kind of smiled face, as well as 2 horns, one of which is broken, and eye hole slits that are on the mask itself that they wear over their face. They are kind of just sitting by themselves, not in the corner of the room, just kind of like off to the side. They don't have any drink or anything else like that. They're just sitting back and observing the room.
Okay.
I'm gonna elbow Immelrith. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, look over there. It's another one of those weird mask guys, like the one we got."
I am going to throw my hands out in a questioning gesture and just look over at Duelist. What's your character's name? I'm sorry. Dormand. Yeah, I'm gonna look over at Dormand and I'm gonna say, "What is it with you masked freaks?"
Dorman cocks his head to the side, looking very much like an owl twisting his head around, and says, "I have a reason for my mask. I don't know what his is."
And Gray, can I tell you a little bit about what your experience in town has been like so far?
Yeah.
For reasons known only to yourself, you arrived in town about 2 days ago. You were maybe you were being chased by something, maybe you got lost. Either way, you arrived in town with very little to your name, and you've been staying in the inn. People have not been kind to you. They have been very standoffish and cold, and there are people muttering about, "Well, no, you get up and go hit him. Go chase him out of town. He's a bad omen." So people seem to think pretty lowly of you around here. You see that these folks are new. These are obviously outsiders like you. This group. So let that inform how you interact with the party, please.
All right.
The halfling woman approaches with the drinks that were ordered and sets them down near you guys, and she says, "That'll be 1 silver for the lot."
Do you have change?
It
Yes.
was just the cat's milk. Give it up, cat.
How much
What?
for a meal as well?
My milk is much cheaper than you guys' but I'll pay for it.
I don't think. Did anybody else order anything?
Oh, I thought somebody was. I thought other things were ordered. I apologize.
Oh,
That'll be 1 copper for the milk, and a meal will be 5 copper.
Do you have a heroic feast?
I'm sorry.
A heroic feast.
Well, not to toot my own horn, but I think all my feasts are heroic, friend.
I'll just get a.
Get out of here with that high level bullshit.
I want to collapse in a. I want to collapse in a chair right there at the bar, and just having my experience with that wishing well a second ago. I just want to slam my fist down on it after she's brought the pitcher of milk and say, "Just bring me the strongest ale you've got."
Oh, are you sure? That's. We make some damn strong wine out here.
I said the strongest, please.
All right, your funeral. And she disappears. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. As she flits off, I'd like to try and take a peek over the bar and try and something is different about her movement. She doesn't seem to walk across or around the bar. She seems to glide. Can I take a second to try and see what that's about?
Absolutely. You look over and see that she is floating about a half a foot off the floor, about 6 inches off the floor.
I want whatever she's got.
She floats into the back room and then floats back to you with a mug of what appears to be dark red wine. And she says, "I'm warning you. This is strong. You should be careful."
I slap an entire gold down on the bar, and I say, "I'll tell you when I've had enough." I don't down the whole thing though. Not yet.
That'll be plenty. Whatever you need. And then she kind of looks to the rest of the party and says, "What else can I get for you?"
I raise my hand and I ask, "I'll have whatever. Do you have a drink that makes me float like that?"
No, I'm. It's kind of an embarrassing story.
Cursed?
Yes. Can't touch the ground.
Seems actually kind of helpful for you, though.
Yes. To get something off the floor. That's what this is for. And she reaches behind the counter and gets a little clockwork vice grip thing.
She has a grabby stick.
She has a grabby stick.
Oh,
It's a grabby stick used in reverse. It's literally the It's like
How do you sleep? Do you just float above the bed?
It's just anything 6 inches above the ground, and above the earth. It's earth.
Interesting. What about water?
Water's fine. I can get in that. I discovered that the hard way.
That's super interesting.
do you know how you were cursed?
Well, that is something that we might share once we're friends. I don't even know your names.
How about we start off with each other's names?
I would like an ale, please. And yeah, my name is Apotham. I hold out my hand to shake her hand.
She gets you a blonde ale and sets it down in front of you, and then she shakes your hand. Aura Tullix.
I'm sorry, spell that, please.
Aura, A-U-R-A,
Mhm.
Tollox, T-O-L-L-O-K-S.
See, I would have imagined there was an X in there. Okay.
You had initial spelling before I corrected it to yours, but pretty much had that except for the Q.
The Q.
You said Q, didn't you?
No, I said
K-S.
K.
Okay. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to spell that?
Yeah, my name is Michael with a B.
I'm sorry,
Well,
did
the
you
Q
say
is
gnome, bartender?
Halfling.
Thank you.
She's got blonde hair, kind of slicked back, like pushed back up over her forehead, and she's got a bright smile that is good person in this town you have met. Not kind of quiet.
Hey, I'm sorry. For some reason, people keep cutting in and out for me. I'm gonna drop the call and pop back in.
Gotcha.
I don't know how well this is gonna work. Hopefully, it'll.
Just saying, Matt. That's my internet all day, every day. People
Yes.
dropping in and out.
Yeah.
It just happened again. So yeah, it's like
testing 1, 2, 3.
Yo.
It's probably gonna keep happening.
Yep.
Yeah, our internet sucks.
yeah,
It's
that
happening to me too.
Yeah, it happens all the time to me. Like literally all the time.
Let's
So-
keep going.
Yeah, Aura says, welcome. Here's your drink. What about you? And she points at the wizard, the elven wizard. You look interesting.
Oh, excuse me. Not half as interesting as a floating halfling bartender.
It does help me. It does help with the height problem.
Yes, and your grabby stick. Very interesting. And I'd like to take a deep swig of the red wine that she brought me.
A deep swig, huh?
A deep swig.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yo,
Let's
take a
get
swig
ready
of
to
shine.
die.
You get most of that swallowed down, and you start to choke a little bit because the burn hits before the liquid is all the way down your throat. You do swallow everything without a problem, but that you cough a bit as that burn lingers long after you've finished your swig. And she kind of looks at you and says, "You all right?" Like I said, that's our strongest wine.
I assume it was delicious, right? It had
Oh, yeah.
complex flavors. It was
It
mildly
was
sweet.
it was bold yet refined.
I cough and sputter. I'm milady. You said that was good, but that was damn good. What do you call that?
Well,
It's probably a well thought out, very interesting name.
can't use what I was about to say. Yes, I can. Fuck it. Deacon's Blend.
Nice.
Dickinson's blend.
Sounds appropriate.
That's funny shit. The first time Chaz said the city named Dickus Bend.
Deacus. Long E.
Dickus. There's this coffee at work that's called Major Dickinson's Blend, and we all make the joke about Dickassons. So, yeah,
Oh,
I'm
man.
glad you work in such a mature and adult workplace. Bear.
Programmers making fun of like coffee names. Yeah.
No, the wine is called Deacus Blend.
I get your
Madam.
references. I understand.
Madam, that's fine. And the owl man in the mask next to me. Can I tell? Is he wealthy? Does he have gold to spare? He's wearing what? A heavy robe or a heavy cloak? Excuse me. And an owl mask, and hunched over on a staff that he's carved some intricate runes. I'm gonna figure this guy doesn't have very much gold, and I'm gonna offer him a stool next to me. Join me, friend. We've been through a hell of a night. Share a drink.
I wouldn't mind something like that. And he
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, he says I wouldn't mind something like that, and take the profit seat.
A little bit in the cat's milk.
Oh, okay. That's what I was going to address. When you say that, Aura says Deacus, not Deacat. Can someone read that for the posterity of the recording, please?
Deacus Blend, a refreshing medley of the fermented dregs from a half-dozen bottles we found in a cellar that smelled faintly of sulfur. Excellent for forgetting your troubles, or for polishing rust.
Deacus Blend. Thank you very much, Brian. Dorman. So, yeah.
Darn. You're the guy with the mask. Don't you gotta like ask that other guy with the mask why he's wearing his? These guys do or not?
Is there a masked pact?
As I said, I have a reason for my mask. And it would
Well,
include-
How do
Sorry?
Clearly
How
you're
do
not
you-
ready to share, but
you drink with the mask?
Carefully.
Alright, so while we're all gathered around the bar now, and we're all drinking, everybody, fuck it, I bought a round for everybody. The cat's wasted. I want to relay that, gentlemen, as we passed by the well, and I flipped in a gold, I heard the voice again, and I assume they all know what I mean when I say the voice.
I nod
Yeah.
solemnly.
And I say this loud enough for our masked friend in the corner to hear.
Gray, you have. And I'm being kind and saying you resisted the psychic damage from. But you've had two dreams of an emaciated child beckoning you towards a wall of throbbing flesh, barely contained behind a sheet of rotted, decaying skin. Both times you've woke up with those.
So I missed what he said.
You've woken up. You have had the dream twice
No. I heard you, Ches.
Oh my god, ASMR
That-
Ches.
Yeah, ASMR.
Oh man.
You have had the dream twice now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, Chesley.
Oh, your God. This
Are
is.
you
That
licking
sounds
me
like
in
that.
the ear now?
Yeah. I missed what the other party members said.
I
that hear.
described as I flicked a gold into the well in the center. I only described it as I heard the voice, and our shared experience here recently, the voice to what we heard. So I don't necessarily know that he would put 2 and 2 together. Fuck it. I'll just say, I heard the voice of that emaciated child from our dream.
Aura looks up suddenly. You heard what? You saw what?
I'm
We all have
sorry,
this
my
dream.
dear. Keep the drinks coming.
No, it's fine. You. She looks perturbed for a moment, and she says, "You had a strange dream about an emaciated child and a wall of flesh. And
Yep,
you woke
that's
up
the
with
dream. Yeah.
and you woke up with your nose bleeding."
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have that one?
Greer kind of leans in. He's been quiet at this point. He says, "I don't think we should talk about this here. Yes?
Perhaps.
Prying ears. Besides, I think our man just arrived." The door, and a tall man with red hair kind of coming down to his shoulders has appeared in the doorway. He is very large. Strapped to his back is a greatsword in a sheath, in a partial sheath. He has fur kind of draped about his shoulders and a thick red beard. He has a thick red beard and thick red hair, and he has been standing in the doorway for a full 10 seconds when he finally approaches you and says, "I understand you're the delegation from Korill."
I kind of
Greer.
elbow Greer. Yeah, exactly. I say,
Greer
go ahead, diplomat. This is your job now.
says, "Yes, that's us. I'm looking for a Greer Lacrima." That's me. Greer looks very tiny suddenly next to this huge man, and who says, "I'm Mayor Decius here in Deacus Bend. I think you and I should have a chat. Greer Lacrima. If you'll come with me to Town Hall, please, your delegation can stay here." "I don't think that your delegation can stay here, Mr. Lacrima. If you want to talk, I'll not be outnumbered in my own office." Greer looks hesitant, and he puts his hand on the hilt of his sword and says, "I've no doubt, Mr. Lacrima. Now, if you will come with me, please. Your friends may visit the town hall later." Greer gets up and says, "I'm not back in an hour. You come find me."
As you wish.
And he gets up and he gets ready to go with Decius. And Decius says, "You have free reign to explore the town as you wish. You are not allowed in the church under any circumstances. I'll be clear. Not allowed in. If you need religious services, there is a traveler's shrine just across the street. It will be visible to you once you head outside, I'm sure.
What's so special about the church?
It's our church, and it's not friend.
Wait. What kind of church is it?
Understanding the concept of not for outsiders.
Outsiders doesn't. telling me there's a big box and you won't tell me what's in it. Can't help but wonder.
Wonder all you going to tell you the secrets of our God. Now,
Who is your god?
Have you ever heard the phrase "curiosity killed the," and he drags his eyes blue color from you, cat?
Whoa, that's offensive.
Why?
Greer says, "Shut up."
I look.
And Greer.
So,
go ahead.
Gray at this point stands up and walks just very cautiously over to the group and says to the man that's talking, "And satisfaction brought it back. What's so special about your god?"
Decius gives you a strained smile and says, "She is our god, and that is all you need to know." And then he grips Greer by the shoulder and leads him out. When he's gone, Aura says, "That man scares me."
I can't imagine why he's so charming, Dorman says, about as dryly as a desert.
He's not so bad until you get on the topic of the church, and then he's frightening.
I can imagine.
I haven't been inside that place myself. Not since I've been here.
How long have you been here?
Oh, about a year and a half.
Really?
Well, my aunt owned this tavern before I did. Lucia Tonks. I'm sorry, not Tonks. Oh my god. Lucia Tollix. Lovely woman, but after she passed away, someone to run the place. And, I was living in Illyria, and I said, well, could be a good living. I came up here. I'll tell you that this place is one of the oddest places I've ever been. And Immelrith?
Don't recall introducing myself, but yes, madam, it is.
Oh, sorry, that was a plot hole.
I'm a major subject that I was interested in yeah, but what the fuck? Fucking
Gamagles.
There you go. In Gamma and Wizards. So
Write that down. Write the name of that school down.
Hold on. But I would like to ask the halfling bartender, what is he special about his church?
She looks to make sure that he's gone, and then she leans in and keeps an eye on a couple of the locals that are in the bar, who are kind of bent over their drinks and not really paying attention to their surroundings. And she says, "It's a goddess I've never heard of. Her name's Opilia."
Pylia?
Opilia. They call her a goddess of plenty. And they're very guarded about who they tell about their. It's very much an. basically been born here if you wanted to get.
What was the name of that god again?
Ophilia.
Ophilia.
Yep. There, you got it in one.
Can I search my knowledge of archaic histories, weird niche religions, and shit like that? Even anything else to glean from the information she's giving me?
To glean, Gray, you make a roll and you say, make a religion roll. A 13 will tell you that you've heard whispers of Ophilia elsewhere. Scattered worship, plenty known to linger somewhere, known to the worship of which you can spend. Very, very minor religion.
I only got about.
You've heard scattered worship of Ophilia from very few people across your travels. It is a very, very minor religion. Maybe you heard one or two people speak the name.
But nothing in detail about it.
No,
Okay.
just the phrase "goddess of plenty."
Goddess of war. Plenty. Okay.
Well, indeed, that. Another round for my friends. And even for my new mask.
Right, you are. Right, you are. Oh, is that Gray? Right.
Yes.
You know, I've seen you come in here a few times. Are you all right? People have been treating you horribly.
It is normal.
I don't think that's right at all. Tell you what, and she turns to Emelrith. His drinks are free for now. What can I get you, Gray?
He nods kind of gently to the.
She says, "One of those."
He just
Immelrith holds up his deep red wine with one hand and thumbs up in the other and kind of smiles and nods and says, "This is good stuff."
Yes, I can't fault the produce around here. It makes for wonderful food and drink. There's just so much of it.
How much?
he takes a moment to ration and then drink.
Okay.
Immelrith looks at the bartender and he says, "Drinks aren't going to be free. Why don't you go ahead and make mine?"
You've already given me a gold, which I like to change.
I'd like another round.
Well, you've paid for plenty, so here. And she fetches another round for everybody that wants a drink.
Immelrith inquires towards a heroic feast for his. I'm sorry. Go anyway. Moving on.
Dorman looks at Gray and says, "I don't think I've met another who dresses as I do for some time. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, friend."
Let's save the pleasantries of friendship, perhaps for later.
Is there something else to be done at the moment? Exchanging pleasantries seems to be all that we have time for.
Friends don't stand for very long.
Well, you're a dramatic one, aren't you? I like that. You're a dramatic one, says the guy wearing a fucking owl mask.
Shortly, while you guys are talking, one of the guys to sort of addressing her, finally stands up and approaches the party and says, he appears to be drunk, and he says, at Dorman, and says, "Hi, you."
Yes.
He leans uncomfortably.
You cut out there. The last thing I heard you say was he leans.
He leans in close and says, "Who do you worship?"
Dorman. His fingers twist under his robe, and his voice takes on a strange, echoing cadence as I cast Thaumaturgy, which is not technically what it can do, but if the DM will allow it.
Yep.
Cool. He says, "I walk the path of the wild hunt."
So appropriate.
And what does the wild hunt give you, owl man?
I'm actually going to, while that thing is still going, because I can keep it going for up to a minute, twist my other hand and cast Minor Illusion so that this guy hears the sound of hooves on the ground behind him.
He whirls in a complicated drunken motion that ends up sending him stumbling backwards into you. He says, "What is?"
I catch him and I whisper in his ear in that same cadence, and I say, as I wait for this to stop cutting out for a second, there we go, and I whisper, "It lets me act as a hunter rather than prey." Can I roll to intimidate? Once more.
Yes, please do.
Nice.
That will do it. Give me just 1 second.
Man, these cutouts are getting bad.
Yeah, I think it's time we call the internet company again, although I don't know how helpful they're going to be in this amidst the COVID-19 stuff.
So the things that you guys are experiencing right now, that's what I'm going through at the moment. I get about half of the things people are saying. And that's normal.
Well, hopefully we can get that fixed with a new cable for you and a conversation with them.
Yep.
So that being said, he like pound. He is shaking in your arms, and he, "What are you?"
I gently push him back to his feet, brush the dust off, like imaginary dust off his shoulders, and I say, "Just a humble traveler. Enjoy your meal." And I turn back and take my seat again.
He sways a bit on his feet. It looks like he's about to say something else, and then decides better of it, and stumbles back over to his beer mug, picks it up, looks at Aura and says, "I'll be taking this. I'll bring it back, I promise."
Rent to own mugs.
And Aura just waves him off and says, "No, it's no problem. Right, I'm off to bed." And he stumbles out the door. The sun has pretty much descended now, and Aura is going around lighting torches. She lights the fire in the fireplace, which casts a warm glow over the interior of the tavern. The heat coming off of it is comforting after the wintry chill. And she says, "Right. Most people don't come in here at night. I make most of my money in lunchtime hours when they come in for something after they worked in the fields. So you've got a place to yourself. I'll assume if your friend over there is friend Greer, was it? Is going to be working for a few days. You'll be staying here."
If you have the room.
I do. There's not many. The inn rooms don't get used very much. So how about I say, and she looks at the party, and she says, Gray, your room's already taken care of. The rest of you, 1 silver a night. Total.
Let me see, there are 4 of us. So Dorman will pull out 2 gold and say, this should cover 2 nights.
She says, thank you. That'll cut more then, and they'll take care of your meals too,
Appreciate
in case you need anything. And with that, she sort of pockets it and sets about her business of getting the tables cleaned and all that ready for any sort of evening service, their evening patrons that she does receive. As the night kind of wears on a little bit, maybe you talk amongst yourselves, maybe you find something else to do. There's by this point it's dark and there's not a lot going on outside. About I want to say 10 o'clock in the evening, Greer reappears at the door of the tavern and he says, well, all right. We'll be here for a few days while we work out the details. You've taken care of your rooms, I think, yes?
We have, yes.
Good. I'll be staying in Town Hall. They've offered me a room there. I'll expect you to meet me in the morning at 8 a.m. sharp. Am I clear?
That's crystal.
Wait, does our responsibility for you end here, or are we still?
You are responsible for me as long as we're here, but Decius has made it clear that my safety is guaranteed. Still, I feel more comfortable with numbers around me, and where I can have you with me, I would prefer to do so. Does that make sense?
Yes.
In the meantime, he goes over to Aura and says, can I get something to drink, please? She looks at Greer and then looks at Party and she says, yes, of course. What would you like? What have you got? Well, I've got some wine. Deacon's Blend.
Try the milk; it's fresh.
Greer scoffed at that and says, I'll try the blend. That is a truly horrible pun, I hope you know. She looks at him for a second and she says, You'll want to get a lot of it in one go. It's fairly weak.
Dorman turns away to hide the fact that he's trying not to laugh.
And she gets him a glass and he drinks it, and predictably, he nearly vomits from taking such a huge swallow. So, everyone has maybe a good laugh at that. Does anyone have anything they want to say to other characters before everyone kind of turns in for the night?
No, not that I can think of.
All right. What's everyone's... Now that you've got a room to yourself, because there's enough rooms in the inn for everyone to have their own room, what does a nighttime ritual look like for you guys? What do you do before you go to bed? Do you prepare anything? Do you do anything other than sleep? What happens?
On the outside, my character is a solemn, quiet rogue who occasionally makes weird jokes, but when he's by himself, he's like a big kid. He starts jumping on the bed, talking to himself, trying to figure out what he's gonna do. Like, man, I can't wait to steal all this stuff. They don't even know what I'm gonna be able to do. But this is all to myself. No one realizes that I'm basically scheming the entire night and bouncing around and just thinking sugar plums and fairies kind of thing, but in rogue terms.
Does the door to my room have a lock or a latch of some kind?
Yes.
It's going to be locked, and he's going to disrobe, basically down to his bare skin, and sit under. If there's a window, sit under that, trying to get a good view of the moon, and meditate.
There is a window. You are. So I don't normally get this specific with buildings, but you are in a room. If you zoom in real quick, you can see a window on one end of that building.
Mm-hmm.
You are near that window. So
He's going to sit beneath it and look up, trying to get a view of the moon.
okay. What about everyone else? What about Gray? What?
And meditate.
Gray, what about you? You've had a room for a couple days. What does it look like for you to settle down?
Gray walks over into his room, turns to the door and locks it. As he walks into the room, at the foot of his bed, there is a chest. The chest sits closed and ever so slightly jumbles. It makes sounds, light scratching, other sorts of things like something's trying to get out. He sits on top of the chest and takes a steel mirror out from his pocket. Removing the mask from his face, he looks into the mirror and slowly grazes the side of his face with his hand. He then lays down, ready for sleep for the next day. The sounds of the chest slightly shaking.
Okay. Emilrith, what does it look like for you?
When Immelrith retires to his room at the end of the night, and he closes the door behind him and locks it, he starts to disrobe. He takes off his top layer, and he's just got a layer of undergarments on that he does leave on. And he does have a spell book that normally hangs from his hip at all times. It's a pretty beautiful red leather-bound tome with gold trimming to totally go with his fucking robe that he's got going on. But at the end of the night, he takes all that. He reaches in his bag and he pulls out a black leather-bound tome, places it in front of himself, and gets down on his knees and just retires for a meditation overnight with this black tome out in front of him. Closes his eyes and drifts off to meditation.
And lastly, Oscar Mal. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go in my room. Yeah, just close the door over and kind of take a look around, survey the place. I'm not a big fan of beds, really, and so I'm gonna find kind of like a bookshelf and try to just take all the stuff off the top and go on top of this bookshelf. I'm all precariously balanced, and I really want to practice my bongos or something, but I know my friends are nearby. It'd be kind of rude. But after enough time kind of sitting in the room thinking about my next hit song about the floating halfling, I'm actually going to go to Immelrith's door and scratch at Immelrith's door like a cat would.
Okay.
This is totally out of character. I have to deal with this shit every goddamn morning when I'm sitting on the toilet, and that fucking cat is scratching at the bathroom door.
Are you in the bathroom right now when I come to your door?
No, hell no, I'm meditating. I'm meditating next to my bed. I've got this disturbing looking black tome laid out in front of me. And the scratching does kind of... I have to shake my head clear, but I hear it. And I get up, boxers around my ankles, and struggle my way towards the door and open the door.
Boxers around your ankles. As soon as you open the door, I'm just gonna do the super cute cat, and I'm just gonna walk in between your feet. But you're naked?
No, got my undergarments on.
Okay. And yeah, I'm just gonna how's it going? My room's a little bit lonely. You think I could sleep at the end of your bed?
Oscar, it's good to see you. Despite what time it may be.
Got some scritches?
Course, I've got scritches for the meow. Here now. And I kind of pat the floor beside me as I settle back into my meditation pose. And even though I've got both my hands out and I'm in kind of my own position, as soon as the cat snuggles up next to me, I keep on Ullman, but my right hand just scritches the neck of the cat.
That's nice. Yeah, I'll definitely chill with the guy meditating, get scratched, and like doze off.
Okay. All right. Night has fallen. The moon hangs low in the sky, and Dorman, you are inspecting it.
Yes,
And I'm going to do a little bit of here. I apologize.
you're fine.
You almost don't feel yourself drift off to sleep, mostly because the view doesn't change. Just that strange, almost ethereal quality that you recognize even in your sleeping state as a dream. You're still staring at the moon, the window is still there, but you hear something outside. You approach the window. Peering into the city square, you see the well. The moonlight is hitting it. There's almost a concentrated beam of silver glow pouring over the edges of the well, pouring into the well. Then you hear a cracking noise, a horrible, awful series of cracking noises that grow louder somehow in your head and outside of your head all at once. And you see one long, pale white, spindly arm emerge from the well. Then another. Finally, a pair of thin shoulders topped by a bulbous, sallow head with two weary eyes, large and yellow, peering outward, the mouth closed in a rictus grin, showing sharp teeth. You back away from the window. You can't believe what you just saw. Then the cracking noises stop, and perhaps out of a sense of it's better to know where it is than where it isn't, you rush back to the window to look, and it's gone. And then you see it. Then you see something else. One slender white hand reaching up over the windowsill towards you. Closer. Closer. And you wake up on the floor. I need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Who?
Now you take psychic damage, motherfucker.
Dorman.
No, I don't think I will take psychic damage.
Fuck.
No, I don't think I will. You find yourself naked, lying on the floor, staring up at the ceiling, cold sweat clinging to your skin. Those cracking noises still echoing in your ears.
I think I whisper to myself, "That's not normally what you show me, my lord. That wasn't you, was it?"
There's a little giggle just behind your ear. No, it wasn't. And that's where we'll stop.
No,
Oh, that is a
spooktastic.
good fucking ending. Okay.
Super spooky now.
All right, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Phantom, I'm sorry we didn't get your character in there sooner.
That's fun.
Yeah,
I was
guys, I
late.
think this creepy mask guy's following us.
No, I'm right here.
Did I cut out very much during my explanation?
No, you did great. Or it sounded great. I am what I like is that you built your character without us really talking about it. So I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yep.
I don't want you to tell me unless it becomes absolutely necessary for me to know.
Should probably tell you.
Well, tell me later, because as soon as we get done with this, I'm going to play Animal Crossing and go to bed.
Okay. I could give you a quick rundown here just after.
Okay. Y'all, thank you for playing. I don't know that we're going to keep running this on Thursdays. It seems like it's kind of hectic for me to try and get home and do it in time. We may... This is not a long campaign arc, and it's got a definite end. So we'll figure out... We'll kind of talk about it going forward as to when we'll play this one.
Level do you think that we'll be able to get up to for this?
4 is my plan.
Okay.
Okay.
So, with that in mind, we'll chat about when we're going to play this next. If I can run it next Thursday, great. That's when I'll run it. But I have somehow managed to enlist myself for a game literally every single night of the week.
You too, huh?
Are you
Yeah.
running those games every single night of the week?
No.
Okay, good.
I am running one on Monday, this one, and sometimes Saturday, and sometimes Sunday. So
Yeah, bro. If anything positive came out of all this shit, it's D&D.
yes, this would be much more positive for me if I was actually working from home like I should be.
Yeah.
But that is impossible given the nature of my job. So, with that being said, I'm going to hop out of here. Phantom, feel free to send me a message. I am socialed out for the day. Y'all, thank you so much for playing. I appreciate the time spent with the game, and I appreciate folks kind of buying into this horror stuff. This is really, really good. I'm enjoying it. So, thank y'all, and I will see y'all when I see y'all.
See ya.
All right.
All right.
Have a good one.
The